Well, hello. It's us, the Wobbum, or the new wave of British heavy metal fanboys, dogs, one down there right now, and budgies, with a brief little video showing you all our latest special record purchase, the oh god, hang on, 40th anniversary edition of Iron Maiden's double live album, Live After Death. Now, when the Nawabum, as I'll call it, really took off in, I want to put this down, in 1979/80, I was a fresh-faced young 15-year-old just finding his way in the musical world. Now, I'd grown up with glam rock and pop and really found in Queen the music I loved in around 1978. Now, I loved their proggy and heavier rocky numbers and felt it was an evolution from my earlier love of Sweet, whose music I also loved and also leaned that rockier way. Some of it anyway. 1979 also saw my first exposure to Judas Priest when they performed Take on the World on Top of the Pops, and I realised then that this heavier music, along with the delights of one Ms. Kate Bush, was my way forward. So when bands like Saxon, Diamond Head, Tigers of Pantang and their ilk exploded onto the scene, my ears were armed and ready, pardon the pun, for the assault. Now, of all the new bands, though, one really stood out for me in the shape of Iron Maiden. No idea why, but they just resonated with me and my mates, really, and that first album, along with the follow-up Killers, was just sublime. I saw them live in my home city in the summer of 1980, a balmy June Sunday night, just days after finishing my O-levels, as they were called back then. I'm that old. It really was as if the timing was just perfect. And my mates and I then met the band the following day in the city's HMV record store and spent ages just, chatting with them. They were really just down to earth. They wanted to talk about music, and particularly football, really being massive football fans, and genuinely had all the time in the world for us. Paul in particular actually even remembered us from the night before, saying, "You were the guys trying to get on the stage, weren't you?" Which we were, but security would not let us. They seemed just like us, really, a bunch of mates, just taking the piss out of each other, really. After their next two albums with Bruce Dickinson, though, I kind of fell out of love with them. Paul Di'Anno and Clive Burr, R.I.P. Hello, Douglas. R.I.P. gentlemen had departed, and Maiden got bigger and more famous, really. Well, massive, to be honest. But I did buy Live After Death when it came out, and although I'm not a huge lover of live albums, I did enjoy it. But it was one of those records I gave away. Yes, gave away. Can you believe, in the early 1990s? Anyway, fast forward to today, and my 40th anniversary edition of the album has just been delivered, and I figured I'd show you what you get for your, was it around about £40 or so? Now, I have to say first off that it is a quality item. The double sleeve is of a thick cardstock and the artwork is beautifully and sharply reproduced. The two records, one on blue and the other on yellow vinyl, come in reproduction inners plastered with concert photography, just the sort of thing you'd expect to see on a double live album of the era, along with the lyrics to their songs, something less seen on live albums. And of course, not being polylined, I have removed them from those card sleeves and put them in more suitable archival items, shall we say. And there will be a video coming along shortly about how I store my records. There are two further items in the form of an accompanying booklet, which I'll thumb through right now. Along with a reproduction tour programme from that World Slavery Tour of 1984-85, and here's a thumb through of that. The records sound fine to my ears, but I'm no audiophile, and I have only a relatively simple, although quite decent hi-fi system. All in all, though, I am very happy with my purchase, and to be fair, I think it, in my opinion anyway, it is well worth the asking price. Go ahead and get it, especially if you're an Iron Maiden fan, or a record collector even. Okay, until next time, just be nice to each other, okay? Ta-ra.